Ace Attorney Investigations Collection is releasing on September 6th. Finally, after 13 years, we're getting a localized version of Ace Attorney Investigations 2 alongside the first Ace Attorney Investigations set for release on 8th and 9th gen consoles and PC. You may be wondering if there's any new changes and is it worth the purchase? Well, you've come to the right video, as this is another everything you need to know before you buy, where I gather all the news and trailers from an upcoming game, showcasing the story, the gameplay, and formulate an opinion on whether you should buy this game, giving you some guidance and knowledge. So here's everything you need to know before you buy Ace Attorney Investigations Collection. As mentioned earlier, Ace Attorney Investigations Collection is a duology collection featuring both Ace Attorney Investigation games, a spin-off to the Ace Attorney series. Developed by Capcom, the first Ace Attorney Investigations was released on the Nintendo DS in 2009 in Japan, and then a year later over in the West. The sequel, Ace Attorney Investigations 2 Prosecutor's Gambit, also had a Nintendo DS release, but was only released in Japan in 2011, and around December 2017, both of these games had also been ported to mobile. Unlike the previous entries of the Ace Attorney series, Ace Attorney Investigations focuses on Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth, a popular character and rival of the series. Taking place 2 months in between trials and tribulation and a polar justice, after coming back abroad, Edgeworth finds himself discovering a dead body in his office, which ends up being connected to a conspiracy involving a legendary thief named Yatagarasu. The game features 5 cases in total, and new characters are introduced making their debut appearance, like for example, Shilong Lang, an Interpol agent from a fictional country named Zongfa, and Kay Faraday, who claims to be the grave thief Yatagarasu. And, of course, returning characters will appear like Dick Gumshoe, Franziska von Kammer, and many more that fans will recognize. Prosecutor's Gambit takes place 10 days after the events of the first game. This time the story focuses on Edgeworth himself. His right to investigate crimes are stripped as he's the target of a prosecutor purge. Risking his badge to pursue the truth, Edgeworth struggles between his career as a prosecutor and the opportunity to become a defense attorney, carrying out his father's legacy. The gameplay takes a different approach compared to the mainline games, where you mainly investigate crime scenes. Throughout your investigation, you will collect pieces of information which, by using a game mechanic called logic, allows Edgeworth to form a conclusion. This requires 2 pieces of information, and if connected correctly, will piece together the events of the crime that he's investigating, either creating a new piece of information or updating a piece of evidence. Gathered evidence will be stored in Edgeworth's organizer, basically serving the same function as the card records in the mainline games. Sometimes investigating a specific area of the crime scene will contradict a piece of evidence, requiring you to use another game mechanic called deduce. And later on in the game, you'll be able to use Kay Faraday's Little Thief, a device that can virtually reconstruct the events of a crime scene. You'll also be conversing with many characters throughout the game. Some conversations may lead to what's called arguments. Arguments are the same as cross-examinations in the mainline games, where an individual will present an argument or testimony. After listening to their argument, you'll have a chance to rebut, pressing on their statements or presenting any evidence that's contradicting. In Prosecutor's Gambit, another game mechanic is introduced called Mind Chess. Used to draw out information when an individual is being uncooperative, Edgeworth envisions a game of mental chess, probing his opponent for an answer. The opponent will have secrets represented as black chess pieces, and the goal is to capture each piece by judging your opponent's words and expression, allowing you to choose the correct prompt under a time limit. Next, let's talk about the new changes Ace Attorney Investigations Collection has to offer. The first big change is the HD upgrade to the character sprites and graphics. The new HD character sprites were designed by the original character designer of the Investigation series, Tatsuro Iwamoto, and for those who like the pixel sprites, there is an option to change between the two. The second change are the new quality of life changes. You've got chapter select, where you can pick any episode as well as the specific section of that episode. Story mode, where the game automatically solves the puzzles for you for those who want to sit back and enjoy the story. The history log, allowing you to check through previous lines of dialogue. You can change the in-game soundtrack from original to arranged. And lastly, you can change the game's text and voice languages. The last change isn't technically a change, but since Prosecutor's Gambit is now localized, many of the characters' names that you may have been familiar with are officially changed. You've got Justine Coney to Verity Gavel, Raymond Shields to Eddie Fender, and Sebastian DeBest to Eustace Winner. This has caused a small stir in the fandom, but hopefully those who are familiar with the translated names will get used to the new ones. Which brings us to the question, should you buy Ace Attorney Investigations Collection? But before that, be sure to like, comment down your thoughts on the game, and subscribe. I'm trying to get 500 subscribers this year, so your support will be greatly appreciated. Obviously, if you're a fan of the Ace Attorney series, you're definitely going to buy this game at some point, especially if you haven't played Ace Attorney Investigations. If you're new to the Ace Attorney series, I wouldn't recommend buying the collection first. Instead, get the Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney trilogy, since that trilogy goes through Edgeworth's story up to Investigations, and also you get to know the other characters in the series. There's currently a demo for Ace Attorney Investigations Collection that you could try out, featuring the first episodes of both games, with the ability to transfer saves once you get the full game. Lastly, if you pre-ordered the Ace Attorney Investigations collection, you'll get 5 arranged in-game tracks for Prosecutor's Gambit that you can switch to. And that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you like this content and want to support the channel, be sure to subscribe and check out the channel for more. And, as always, I'll see you next time and catch you guys later. Take care.